For strong legs, all you really need are 4 exercises to train every major muscle group in your legs. So your glutes, your quads, your hamstrings, and your calves. For longevity though, you want to train every major muscle group in your entire body. I split my workouts though into upper body and lower body days. This is my leg workout, and I'll show you what I do for my upper body in another video. But let's get started with the quads, with heel elevated goblet squats. So to raise my heels, I use a spirit chopping board. And this lets me squat deeper because I have a limited ankle mobility, and it puts a little bit more emphasis on the squats. Without the heel elevation, you'll generally work your hips and glutes a little more. I use a 16 kilogram dumbbell. Your right weight will be probably different from mine. And if you're a beginner, you can just start with no weight at all. I do 3 sets, so 12 reps and then 10 and then 8. Now, one major reason I do strength training is healthy aging. Because if we don't challenge our muscles, we'll lose them. And that as early as in our late 20s. At first slowly, yeah, but that accelerates in our 60s. After the age of 60, we'll lose up to 3% of our muscle mass every single year. Can you imagine stepping on a scale and seeing 3 kilos less, but it's not fat, it's muscle. It's your strength. You've probably seen older people having trouble getting up from a chair or climbing stairs or even just walk normally. And one major reason these everyday movements become so difficult with age is age-related muscle and strength loss. Some loss of muscle with age is inevitable, but it doesn't have to get to a point where it becomes debilitating. And you can start at any age. Even people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, or even beyond that can still increase their strength and muscle. Next are Bulgarian split squats. And these work both your glutes and your quads, but I use them mainly for my quads. Leaning slightly forward from the hips places more emphasis on the glutes, whereas a straighter torso, it shifts more of the work toward the quads. I use 2 5 kilogram dumbbells, but you can start with lighter weights or with none at all. I do 3 sets of 10 repetitions on each leg. To be honest, it can be challenging keeping your balance at first. I still wobble sometimes. I'm really doing my best here to perform these exercises cleanly for you, but I'm not a fitness professional. You should have seen me when I started. I was even wobblier than I am now. I only started strength training around 2 years ago, and initially I was mainly doing legs and a little bit of arms. But still, within the first 11 months, I added 2.5 kilograms of muscle mass. Now, if raising your back foot is too difficult, then start with regular split squats. So with both feet on the ground. And if balance is still an issue, then just hold on to something. Next, we work the hamstrings with sliding hamstring curls. I use those sliding discs. And I work on both carpet and hard floors. But if you are on hard floors, then you can also use just tea towels. Try to keep your hips raised while sliding your feet out and pulling them back in. They are quite challenging though. So I do 3 sets of 8 repetitions. I only moved recently to these. Before those, I did weighted single leg glute bridges. But at some point, adding more weight became so uncomfortable on my hips that I moved to those sliding hamstring curls. But if you're just starting out, then you could try the hamstring focused glute bridges instead. So place your feet further away from your bum to work your hamstrings more. And lift your toes and press through your heels. Start with both feet on the floor. To make it harder, raise one leg. And eventually, you can add weights across your hips. Now the only muscle group left are the calves. And we work these with calf raises. I use my spirit chopping board again. And I place it at the edge of my mat and rock to create this raised surface. I use 2 8 kilogram dumbbells. And I raise my heels as high as I can and then lower them. I have been doing them for a while, but still, balance is still sometimes an issue. Now you can start without weights and you can hold on to something if you need help balancing. Now I do 3 sets of 15 repetitions. And now we've covered every major muscle group in your legs. Obviously, these exercises aren't the only correct ones to train those muscles. They're simply the ones I do. Generally, the recommendation for resistance training is 2 to 3 times per week. Now, in addition to those 4 exercises, I also do lateral bend walks because I also run. And these work directly your gluteus medius, which help keep your pelvis stable each time you land on one leg. I do 15 steps in each direction for 3 sets. And that's it for the strength training part. Now I also do a 7-minute warm-up and a 10-minute cool down. I start with hip mobility exercises and I finish with some stretching. Both are optional, you can skip them or do something completely different. But that's really it. 4 exercises for strong legs and an optional one for your hips.